This story takes place in southern China, and it is a weird story that happened in a school in a small town in the south a few years ago. As soon as she entered the school this morning, the girl Demeli couldn't wait to tell her best friend about her horror experience last night. At this time, Demeli had thick dark circles under her eyes and her face was pale. It was obvious that she hadn't recovered from the fear of last night. But no matter what she said, her best friend Lon Lon just didn't believe it, and didn't take these things seriously. Demeli didn't want to argue with her. So she told her all the things that happened to her last night in detail. Demeli is also a very courageous girl, otherwise she would not have done that horrible experiment. I don't know if my friends in the north have heard of it, but it is a legend about peeling apples. It is said that at 12 midnight, stand in front of the mirror, light a white candle, and then peel the apple. What needs to be done is that the apple peel must not be cut off. If you finish it within the specified time, you can attract ghosts in the mirror. Then ask the ghost some questions at this time, and you can get answers, such as whether the person you like likes you or not. Demeli has nothing to ask, but she is a lover of supernatural beings, just curious and looking for excitement. Last night was really smooth. When she was peeling the apple, the peel did not break, and the peeling was completed smoothly. At the moment when the whole apple peel fell, Demeli found that the flame of the candle in front of her suddenly jumped up, and there was also a faint green light in the mirror. It seemed that the experiment was a success. In fact, Demeli was not prepared for the real success at all, so she was so frightened that she didn't even dare to breathe. Slowly, a vague shadow appeared. In the mirror, it was a blood-stained man with a large sunken head. He suddenly appeared in front of Demeli. Demeli had already been frightened at this time. She felt blackness in front of her eyes, and then she felt as if she had entered a large cold room, where there were many iron beds, and when she looked carefully, a dead person was lying on each iron bed. Some even had traces of sutures, and Demeli immediately understood that she had come to the morgue, just as Demeli was terrified. When trying to find the door to go out, he suddenly found a male corpse beside him, opened his eyes suddenly, and then sat up from the iron bed. The excited Demeli immediately screamed, and at this time he found that this man was the one who appeared in his mirror just now. Fortunately, the man didn't do anything, but told Demei about himself. It was also at this time that Demeli realized that she couldn't move at all, and could only listen to the man's narration in a daze. About a week ago, there was a provincial road around this small town. At midnight, there were not many people and cars on the road. A girl probably lost her love. She drank a lot of wine on the grass beside the road, crying drink. In the end she couldn't control her emotions, wanted to commit suicide, and ran to the road to commit suicide. Coincidentally, this man happened to drive by here, and her vision at night was not good. In addition, there were very few cars along the way, and his speed was a little fast. When he saw the girl in the middle of the road, it was too late to brake. His reaction was quite sensitive, and he turned the steering wheel quickly without hitting the girl. But there was a deep ditch on the side of the road. The car broke through the guardrail and plunged down. The ditch was about 7 or 8 meters deep. The strong speed and inertia caused the car to change shape in an instant. All this happened in an instant. The girl froze on the spot. Just like that, a catastrophe fell from the sky and fell on this man. The car crashed and the man died. The man didn't understand until his death. How could all this happen? At this time, the girl's drunkenness was also awakened by fright. She didn't want to die anymore, and she didn't want to have anything to do with this matter. She ran away without even calling an ambulance. Demeli was almost scared to death at this time. She didn't understand what the man meant, so what could she do to help? Under the strong stimulation of terror, Demeli woke up abruptly, and she found that she was sleeping on the bed. Could it be that everything tonight was a nightmare? Turning her head again, she saw that all the things she had used for the experiment were there, but when she fell asleep on the bed, she didn't remember at all. After listening to Demeli's description, Lanlan's complexion also changed. This matter is not easy. But just a dream can't explain anything, Lanlan can only keep persuading. Demeli thought, maybe she was thinking too much, but at this moment, a strange sound came from outside the window, and Demeli just turned her head when she saw a girl fall from the window. The building of the school is 8 stories high, and the consequences of falling can be imagined. With a bang, the hearts of both of them trembled. The girl who fell from the building knew both of them. It was their classmate Meng Meng, and her mood was extremely depressed during this time. It is said that she just broke up with her, so the question is, does the girl's death have something to do with Demeli?